Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing really well. And today's video is going to be a story time, and if you saw my coming out story, then you will know that I said I was going to film a video on how I was treated in high school, slash kind of a high school, story time type of video, which is what today's video is. Oh my god, how many times can you say video? Anyway. So, basically, I will not name the school that I went to, even though I want to name and shame that school. I don't think it's appropriate, and yeah, basically, I just don't think it's appropriate. So, I will be talking about the school and, stuff like that, and talking about how homophobic that school is. Now, believe it or not, there was more homophobia towards me from the staff than the pupils. Now, obviously, I got my fair share of, gay boy and faggot and all that stuff, and you're just like, whatever, mate, you're about this big, year 7, bye-bye. But a lot of the homophobia came from members of staff, aka my teachers, and that to me was so shocking because I just didn't expect that to be the way it was. So, basically, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so to make this all make sense, I will have to be very honest and upfront about, me as a person. So, I am a very anxious and nervous person, and I deal with panic attacks and high anxiety and depression, and go in and out of that all the time. Now, when I was going into high school, I was so scared. I was scared out of my, mind because I couldn't comprehend, being in somewhere with, people that were much older than me, and I knew that people in high school weren't, the nicest sometimes, and that to me was quite daunting. So I went into year 7 with no friends because all of my friends I had from the other school, primary, had gone to other high schools. So I started that school with no friends, I was really shy, really introverted, didn't really know how to go about making friends, and all in all was just quite, worried. So, I went into school for the first 2 years, kind of just drifting in and out, like I said, no friends, no kind of social life outside of school, kind of private, very private, didn't really want anyone to know too much about me. I didn't go to school that much because of my anxiety and nerves. I would always, say to my mum, I can't do it, I don't want to go in, or, you'd fake the old, I'm not well, kind of card. So I tried to avoid school at any, cost. I would try my best to not attend school. I would sit with the boys at dinner time, and it was very evidently clear that I didn't fit in, you know what I mean? They'd be footballs and girls and this and that, and let's go and kick a football around and all that stuff, and I'm like, all I really want to do is put some mascara on, do you know what I mean? No. So they kind of made my life a little bit shit because they knew I wasn't really, clicking with their kind of friend zone thing, you know what I'm saying. So for me, that was a really hard and depressing time. So I'd say around year 8, I found a group of friends which I don't speak to anymore, school friends, ugh, don't get me started. So I was friends with these 3 girls, and at the beginning they were very good friends, and I felt accepted and, part of something, and it was nice. And then I'd say up until year 7, 7, idiot, up until year 10, we were friends, and then they started to kind of, push me out and was like, bye, you're not welcome here anymore type of thing, and I was like, oh right, okay, bye. And then I got friendly with the, like, I want to say popular girls, not popular girls, but, you know, the big table that had all the girls on it. I got friends with them, and I kind of found my, I felt like I'd finally found a set of friends where I was completely, you know, on the same wavelength. We were all really good friends and all that stuff. Anyway, this is kind of irrelevant, but I needed to start off with this stuff anyway. So then, as that started, that was kind of made me feel a bit more, you know, comfortable. But anyway, so I'm a very anxious, nervous person, basically, and I struggled all the way with, you know, school friends and, you know, clicking with people and not clicking with people, and, you know. Right, okay, so I'd say I was never really happy in school, you know, at all. I didn't really enjoy it one little bit. But I'd say it was around the end of year 9, maybe earlier. No, I'd say around mid-year 8, things started to show that the school wasn't very supportive of people in the LGBT community. So I started to wear makeup when I was 14, and, you know, at first it was very subtle, just a bit of like foundation, maybe some concealer, you know, really basic stuff. And then came, you know, the brows and, you know, a little bit of mascara and things. Just like every other girl in that school, even that, not every other girl, you know, like all the girls in the school, I mean, what am I saying? Yeah, like all the girls in the school, I said, you know, if they can wear foundation, their eyebrows, some mascara, a bit of bronzer, then just because I'm a boy, you know, it doesn't matter, I should be able to wear the same. Now, I remember the teachers coming up to me and saying, here's a wipe, now go down and remove all that makeup. And I was like, what? So I have to take my makeup off, but her, and her can all, you know, still wear that full face with a winged eyeliner and, you know, lipstick, the lot, but I'm too much. I was like, this isn't fair. So I was like, well, I'll go down when you tell everyone else to go down. And she was like, well, she was like, such and such, this girl who I was friends with at the time, she was like, you gonna take yours off too? I was like, this is still not right. Just because I had to take mine off, now she has to take hers off. And I was like, this is just one big joke. So anyway, we go down to the, like, you know, office where if you get in trouble, that's where you go. And I was like, I don't want to remove it. She was like, me neither. So I basically just, like, took a little bit off, you know, foundation-wise, and left my brows and stuff. And I said that day, I will never, ever, ever remove my makeup, you know, for this school again. If they can wear it, so can I, so can you, to the girl I was friends with. I was like, this is so wrong. So then from then on out, I said no. If they brought a wipe up to me, I said, sorry, no. Get everyone's makeup off and then maybe I'll cooperate. But until then, I'm sorry, I'm totally not going to do it. And that caused kind of drama, because the teachers were like, you know, you've got a bad attitude, blah, 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 blah. It's too much, it's too much, it's too much. So I remember one day, I don't know why, I think it was because I was late to school, I got detention, and I went into the detention room, and the teacher went, you've got way, way too much makeup on. And everyone was like, and all eyes were on me, and because I was a nervous and anxious person, I was like, oh, thanks a bunch. Thanks a lot for making all the, like, you know, attention on me. And I was so awkward, and even though I was strong because I always wanted to be myself, I still was quite a nervous person. So that to me was kind of like, she embarrassed me, she was showing me up in front of everyone. And I went home and I cried, and my mum rang up and was like, look, this is bang out of order. She shouldn't have done that, you know, she's made a joke. You know, she was being really out of order. As a teacher, as an adult, she should not have done that. So anyway, that was the start of them being, like, really funny about me wearing makeup. And like I say, I always said, if the girls can wear makeup, then just because I'm a boy doesn't mean I can't. I will wear what they can wear, and if not, then you are being sexist. And this school is sexist. And they kind of didn't know what to do about that, so they kind of were like, you know, give up, whatever, do what you want type of thing. Now, I know in, you know, different places and different schools there are, like, different rules. And some schools can't even wear any makeup, and some can wear, you know, full face, and, you know, I know all that. But the school that I went to allowed, like, normal, average kind of everyday makeup. And that was why I fought so strongly to, you know, be able to wear as much as the girls. Because I think that was right. So, like I say, just in case you think that, you know, it was a school that didn't allow makeup and I was just being unfair, it wasn't the case. That school allowed makeup, just was being rude to me because I was a boy, basically. Here in the UK, you can pick your options, which are like, you know, the lessons that you want to do for your last 2 years of school. In the UK, that happens at the end of year 9. So I wanted to pick Hair and Beauty, which is obviously a course where they teach you about nails and makeup and hair and blah 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 blah. And then there's like mechanics, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I said I want to do Hair and Beauty, obviously, because I'm really passionate about it and, you know, still am to this day. So I said, that's my choice. I want to do that one, and then obviously picked all my other ones, like my boring ones. Anyway, then the deputy head, which is like a little bit lower than the head teacher, said to me, you need to change your mind. You are making a big, big mistake. You need to pick mechanics because this is not going to end well, and by tomorrow when you come in, you better change your mind. And I was like, how rude, how rude. I was like, no, I want to do Hair and Beauty and that's what I'm going to do. If you don't like it, I am sorry, I am really sorry. Sorry. But we are all allowed to pick what we want. There was girls picking mechanics, you know, construction. Just because I'm a boy doesn't mean I can't do nails, hair, makeup, etc, etc, etc. And I was like, this is disgusting. How dare you tell me I'm wrong for picking what I'm passionate about. I was like, I can't even deal with this school right now. So I went home, told my mum, she went mad. She was like, this is so wrong, this is messed up. Anyway, I went in, I said, I'm sorry, that's my decision, it's final, I'm doing it. Tough, if you don't like it, you don't like it. This is my life. So I went into that course, being the first boy to ever do that course in that school, and I wanted to make that like a stand for everyone that wanted to do that, who was a boy, who felt like they couldn't or it was impossible. I was like, look, you can do it, sod everyone else and their crappy opinion, you can do and be what you want to be. And that's still the kind of message I want to send now. But it was more important to me that I made it like a stand in school for everyone that was coming into school, you know, maybe similar to me in personality. You know, so that was another, like, incident where the school was being, you know, quite sexist and homophobic towards me. Now, here's where it gets, like, really juicy. So I picked art as well as, like, you know, Hair and Beauty and, you know, maths, blah blah blah. So I picked art because I loved to draw, and I drawed like people, like portraits, and it was like my favourite pastime, and I loved it, and I knew I could get a good grade, and I went into that class with such high expectations of what it was going to be like. I was going to get good grades, have a good time, you know, get to express myself through drawing. God, was I wrong? Was I wrong? The teacher that taught art in that school hated me, and she was the biggest homophobe I have ever come across in my whole entire life, existence, everything. She hated the floor I walked on, and she made me know it. So she would just victimize me, you know, out of the whole class for no reason. She would just go at me and go at me and go at me. And I remember once, she moved me for no reason, just because she had an issue. She was like, you go and sit over there, you're like, you know, away from all your friends type of thing. And I was like, why? What have I done? Like, everyone else is being little shits. What have I done? She was like, no, go over there, sit over there on your own. I was like, this is so not right. And then she went, oh, what's wrong? Having a little diva strap? I was like, are you being real? Are you being for real? I was so gobsmacked. I was like, whatever. So I walked out of that room, and I will admit, I went, slut. You are a slut. And you know what? Maybe that was rude, but she was rude, and she was being really, really, like, what's the word? Patronising, and, you know, making a dig at the fact that I was quite feminine. She was like, oh, a diva strap. Oh, a diva strap. And I was like, this is... how can you say that? You're a teacher. That's bang out of order. Messed up. So I stormed out. She pulled me back in and was like, look, we need to get along, blah, blah, blah. Tried to hug me, and I was like, no, don't, please. Anyway, then that was the start. Like, she pulled me out of the lesson once and said, tell me that you hate me. I was like, what? She was like, tell me to my face that you hate me. I was like, what is this? Like, are you mentally ill or tapped or what? And she was like, I know you hate me, just tell me you hate me. And I was like, are you okay? Like, do you need me to get mental help or, I don't know. So I was like, no, I'm not going to say it, whatever. You're being weird, thanks a bunch. Anyway, that was that. And then it just got worse and worse. She was just being really, you know, always targeted me for, you know, things that weren't my fault. Kind of made my life a bit of a living, like, hell. And even though I did good drawings, good art, she always gave me really bad marks in comparison to people that did, you know, not to be rude or mean, because if you're trying, then you're trying. But people that were not as good as me, and that sounds really big-headed, I know, but I know I was good, and one day I could show you my drawings if you want. I knew it was good, and she'd give me really bad marks, and I was like, I am never going to achieve what I need to achieve in this lesson because she won't allow me to. So basically, I made the decision to drop out of art, and that really hurt me, and she crushed my, like, passion to draw and, you know, do art. So now I don't really do it as much because she really, really destroyed that for me. Real talk. And I said, look, I'm leaving this lesson. I can't be near you. I don't want to be near you. By this point, my mum had gone into parents' evening and had a big argument with her, and we got into quite a lot of trouble. You know, things happened, and it just got out of hand, and I was like, you know what, I need to step away from the situation. This is not healthy for me. I need to leave your lesson, be away from you, and carry on because you are toxic. So I dropped out of that lesson and started to do, like, you know, I went into another lesson where I sat there and did other work, and I needed to do that because she was really, really, I don't know. Now, after my mum and her argued, all the teachers started to treat me really badly and were really off with me, treat me different to everyone else, whatnot. Then I got pulled into a meeting where I got asked, was I gay? And I said, I am not talking to you about it because it's none of your business. If I'm going to tell someone, it's going to be my family. By this point, I was already out. I was like, it's going to be my family or my friends or people I actually trust and love and, like, you know care about me. And she turned around, this woman who was asking me the question, she was like, not a teacher, but she dealt with this kind of thing, I don't know. She went, well, a normal person would have said yes or no. And I was like, a normal person. Are you trying to say that I'm not normal? Okay. You're weird. So I was like, that's really not fair to say that. Anyway, then it got to prom, you know. You go to prom here in the UK. I don't know about everywhere else, but we have a prom. And actually, wait, let me give you like a backstory. So basically, when I was in high school, my granddad and my uncle both passed away in the same year, and I was really grief-struck and obviously very upset, going through grief and loss, and you know, it was a hard time for me. It was a horrible time for me, and it was one of the darkest times of my life. My panic attacks were the worst they have ever been. I couldn't eat properly. I couldn't go anywhere. I was a wreck. I was an absolute wreck. And I didn't attend school a lot because I was a mess. And the school said to me, it doesn't matter whether you've been off because you've lost family members, you've had time off school, and you are not welcome to come to the prom. And I was like, this is beyond wrong. And she said to me in the assembly in front of everyone, she went, Aaron, you are not going to prom. And everyone was like, oh my God. And I was like, all they're trying to do is make a joke out of me, and it was so frustrating. I felt so powerless, so meaningless. I was like, I have lost people I love and you are doing this to me? No. So anyway, I made the decision to shave my head for cancer around that same year. And I went into the school and said, look, I know you don't allow shaved heads, but I need to raise money for cancer. It's something I'm really passionate about, something I've, you know, personally experienced, you know, loss of someone having cancer, and I want to help families going through the same thing. I want to raise money. They said, we will support you with anything but that. And I was like, no, I've already started to raise money. This is what I'm doing. They were like, if you shave your head, you are not welcome in this school. And I said, you know what? I don't want to be welcome in this school. I am doing it. I'm doing this for my uncle and for my granddad. And if you can't support that, then I am so sorry, but I'm going. Like, bye-bye, I'm going to shave my head. So I did it. And then they didn't support me, didn't, you know, give me any kind of a pat on the back, support, nothing. Then I came back in about a couple of weeks later, and one of the teachers went, oh, was you waiting for your hair to grow back? I said, no. I said, I was actually still dealing with the loss of my family members. And she was like, alright. I was like, you're disgusting. You are disgusting. Disgusting. So out of order. Then, anyway, they didn't allow me to go to prom. They completely cut me out of the leaving assembly. So we have an assembly when you leave school, you get to, you know, get a silly gift, and you get your picture on the wall, and all that stuff. They cut me out of it. It was like I didn't even go to that school. They made me so irrelevant. Everyone got something but me, and everyone was like, where's yours? Like, what's going on? I was like, I don't even know, I don't even care at this point. I need to get out of this school. I need to be free of this school. The head teacher at one point came to me in front of all of my friends at the table and went, do you need some gay help leaflets? Do you need some gay help leaflets? I said, no, I don't. I am perfectly comfortable with who I am. I've got my family, I've got my friends, I've got support. I don't need no leaflets. And he was so smug. He knew what he was doing. He was trying to make me a joke, you know, a target for bullies, and it was horrendous. And then another incident was the people who kind of, you know, look after you at dinner time and break said I needed to give him my earring, and I was like, no, I'm not giving it you, I'll put it in my pocket, but you're not having it. And I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that. That's my, you know, property. I don't want to give it to you. And he pinned me against the wall. And they're not allowed to touch you. People in schools, like teachers, are not allowed to lay a hand on you. Not here in this country anyway. I don't know about anywhere else. But they cannot lay a hand on you. And that was so wrong, so wrong. Never allow that. If that happens to you, report it, because I should have done. I really should have done. So should have. You know what, guys? I could sit here all day and tell you, you know, thing after thing after thing that they did to me or treated me a certain way. But really, this video is already long enough, isn't it? Come on. It's long enough, guys. So, yeah, that's kind of my high school story, kind of, you know, being treated badly. And you know what? I want this video to inspire you. If you are someone who's being treated like this in school by adults, by grown people that should know better, then I beg you to go and tell someone you trust, your parents, your family, your loved ones, anyone that you can trust, and you get help. You report that school and you make a stand, because that's all I was doing. I knew the things that I was standing up for were right. I knew it. I knew that I was doing what I needed to do for me and that I knew was right. And if you know that too, then don't allow yourself to be treated like crap just because of who you are, or because that you're a bit feminine, or because you want to wear a bit of makeup. Don't be that person, because trust me, I've been there and it's horrible. And I did as much as I could, and so did my mum. But if you can do something drastic, like take it to the papers and get that school name and shamed, do it. Please, please, please do it. I think it's so appalling that a school, a place where you're supposed to feel safe, protected, loved, that's what schools are, right? You know, you're supposed to feel safe. They made me feel like a joke. Like an absolute joke, and treated me like crap. And that's wrong. That is so wrong, guys, and it needs to stop. And I feel sorry for anyone going through it in that school right now, because I know there probably will be. So yeah, if you have stuck around, I can't speak. If you have stuck around to this point, you know, the end, then thank you, I love you, you're amazing, and you must really enjoy listening to my whining voice. No, but anyway, thanks guys, I love you all, millions and billions and trillions and all that stuff. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye, loves. If you need any advice or support, then contact me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat or Twitter, and I will be leaving some helpful links in my subscription box.